Like right now, if I give you 500, which you didn't have, what you chances are 90% of us, instead of maybe doing something good with that money, they will go and spend that 500 because they didn't have at the first place. Then the issue will be not spending that 500 because already you didn't have. So even if you spend them 500, it will be nothing. It will be not that big loss because you didn't have. But what will happen is you'll find that these people will spend minimum of 600 to 700. So by giving you 500, I have taken away 200 from you, because in the moment of spending, you will find that you have accumulated or spent more than 500, and by doing so you have lost 200. And that's how you find most of the time we live, because right now it's almost that month, majority of the people have received the salary, so it will not be making sense a lot, because you have some extra money you can be spending here and there, you don't care. But when you reach at the mid-month, you find that at that time you are living at a bare minimum. You have already a budget. You find at that time you have a budget, what you eat today, what you drink today, what you do today, the whole of the week, it's already in the budget. It's Yani, you have already made that budget. Even you have made a sticker and put it on a wall or something like that, so that you can be looking at it. Why are you doing that? Because you don't have extra money to be able to use extra. You are like, you have to stick with whatever it's in the budget. You have to stick with whatever it's in that, maybe a book or a chart which you have made. You find you have to stick with it, and by doing so, it's easier for you, and you find it, you manage to get the money to make it to the end of the month with that small amount of money you had. But when you get paid, you don't have such kind of things. You automatically forget about you wanted money to buy something or maybe to do something, and you switch automatically. Furthermore, if you make extra money more than the amount you expected, let's say you wanted 2,000 and you have managed to secure 3,000, that one, you find that 1,000 might even cost you those 2,000, because you start enjoying and doing some funny thing at that time. That when you realize, oh, my TV is too old, my car has some funny sound which have been coming from maybe engine bay or something like that, and all this time you have been sitting and driving this car without any worry in your mind, without even anything bothering you. But just because you have received extra money, you go and start repairing the car. When you are in the garage, you happen to find that they are telling you, oh, you know what, you expected this is the amount of money it will cost. No, it will cost more than that. Then you end up using the money and maybe taking a loan to cover the money, the whole month fee or charges which you are supposed to cater for with the money you received. And that's how we do live. Right now, I wish, you see, you managed to succeed to survive the mid of the month all the way to the end. Why can't you take that budget, instead of having it at the mid of the month? Try today, the whole of the month, use that budget and have everything well budgeted for. But don't be mean to yourself that much. Make sure after all the budget, you have something called miscellaneous, the amount of the money which you'll be spending on some silly things. Maybe you have decided to get out with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, and you have decided to take a coffee, or it's a cold day, you have to take a coffee when you are going to work, or you wake up late, you cannot take public transport, or maybe you cannot drive yourself, so you decide to take a Uber, something like that. Make sure you have your miscellaneous. But miscellaneous is always allowed 10% of the whole budget. So by doing so, I can tell you this, at the end of the month, you'll find you have saved some quite good amount of money. But you find that right now when we receive salary, the first 2 weeks, it's full of happiness. It's full of entertainment. We spend the money as if there is no tomorrow. And actually, majority of us in that first half month, we do use a lot of money. Actually, the 3/4 of the money which you received as your salary or your payment or compensation, you spend on in the first half of the month. Then after that, you go broke and you start saying, you know what, if they could only added me an extra 500, right now I would be living a good life. Because when you do your budget, you realize that if you can manage to have an extra 500, you can be able to be budgeting and living a good quality of life. But remember this, unless you get that 500, when you know how to budget it, there is possibility. Even if I give you and I stop you and tell you, you said you want this is your 500. By the end of those 2 days, or even by the end of the first day, that 500 will be nowhere to be seen. Why? Because it was not in the budget, and it's not hurting. And that's why you find those people who earn money through casual laboring. Let's say some people who get paid every single day, you go home with your money. Majority of those people are always don't have anything in their pocket, because you get paid today. Then, because you know very well tomorrow you make some extra coin or some extra money, you don't have to save anything today. You go back home and wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow you wake up, make some money. But what when you meet people, you tell you this, oh, you know the mistake is what? You are not working hard. You go and kill yourself in the whatever, whether workplace or a business. Let's say you are a business person. You go kill yourself in a business. Learn your business from Monday to Saturday or even to Sunday. Then when that profit comes, if you don't have or you don't know how to save or plan for the money, I tell you this, it will be over before you realize. How many people do you know have actually won maybe Lotto? They won Lotto and they received their 2 or 4 or 5 million, and when I say million, I'm talking about dollars, and before you know, they already broke. What does that tell you? If you don't know how to manage that 1,000 or 2,000 you receive as your salary, then it doesn't matter whether you work so hard to have 10 million, you still don't know how to manage. Unless you have a business which can be able to be popping up and making a profit of maybe 10 million in a month, then by default you'll be going broke.